I got my guy on the phone right now.
You got your guy on the phone?
Yes, my guy who is called up to talk to you, BT, about your little situation with the jersey right now.
Okay, so this has been a couple days of the making. I've been told about this. Hoff is going to extremes. Now, before we divulge, I have no idea who it is. Can we play a little game? Can I at least try to guess before we get to the message?
Yes,
okay.
You can.
First of all, whomever it is, what's happening? How are you doing? Hello. What's up?
I'm doing quite well, thank you.
Okay, I think I know. I get a little southern drawl. I get a little style. Oh, that's how. Is this the great Joe Namath?
I call it a football draw.
That's right, Joe Willie in the house, Broadway. Joe, what's up, Joe?
Well, everything's good, except there seems to be a dilemma going on with you.
Joe, what do I do? What do I do, Joe? You're a man of character. You're a man of conviction. I put myself in a stupid position because of my fat mouth. Without your word, you're nothing. But to put on that jersey would kill me. What do I do, Joe?
Well, you got to get over some things. Their values are very important, and respect for one another. Now, some of us, and I'm not absolutely sure if Tiki himself didn't even wear another jersey at one time or another.
Only my brothers. Maybe my brothers once. That was it, Joe.
You see, and I know I have, and we have allegiance to one another and respect for everybody, you know. And as far as being a fan of a specific team, a diehard fan, that's great. But, you know, you can still show respect for the competition, too.
Wow.
And I think that that's important in life, and that, hey, I'm pulling for the Giants myself.
Love that. Love that.
I promise you that.
Yeah,
I've been a Giants fan since I was a kid. Whenever a halfback and receiver named Joe Walton played for him, and he was from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania.
That's right.
And I've been a Giant fan since Ray Perkins took over as a head coach there.
Alabama roots, Joe. I got you.
Yeah, and there was a time whenever we AFL did not get any respect from the National Football League until we won a championship against the National Football League.
That's right.
You earned it. You earned it, Joe.
Yeah, and so once we got and the next game too, you know, the Kansas City Chiefs or the Vikings lost. Anyway, we have respect for one another. So I as well as the Giants are doing, hell, I pull for them regular season. I mean, I like. Big-time fan of the Manning brothers and Archie, starting with Archie. So it's a people thing.
Now, Joe, I got to be honest with you, Joe. This sounds like a very 2023 Joe Namath, very PC, not wanting to ruffle any feathers. I need Joe from back in the day where we're having a couple of scotches and we're doing whatever else we're doing, and you tell me what the real is. I feel like I need that Joe Namath to enter the conversation now.
Okay, one of my very dearest friends for God knows how long, for 60 years or so, made the statement one time, I got to be honest with you, Joe. I said, what? You got to be, well, what have you been with me?
Yeah, that's true.
You're coming up with this, I got to be honest phrase. Well, what have you been with us, Brandon?
So, Joe, is he wearing the jersey or not? He's going to take.
Yes.
He said yes.
Joe
says yes.
He says yes. Now, Joe, you got a lot of juice in this world, and I'm going to take this under strong consideration.
It's Joe Namath.
I understand who it is. It's the great Joe Namath. I got his number framed and signed in my man cave. I got that. But
hey, Brandon.
Yes, Joe.
Brandon,
yes, sir.
There's another thing that's coming to light here, and I hope it can come true, but it's far-fetched. I know Mr. Johnson's trying to get a quarterback. Mm-hmm. And if there's a way he could get Rodgers, I don't know what you guys think about that.
Well, what I think is that Woody Johnson needs to do something is what I think. It's exactly what I think, Joe.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm a big Rodgers fan.
Uh-huh.
And I noticed that he wears number 12, of course.
So does Tom Brady,
thinking,
too.
Well, man, if we get him on our side, is he still going to be wearing number 12? Because the number was retired many years ago.
But, Joe, that would be on you.
Of course.
This is what I'm saying. It's on ownership, and it's different ownership. It's different people. And I'd sure like Rodgers if he's there. Yeah, I want him to wear his number, man.
You do.
We established ourselves, and we got a real respect for our numbers. And Aaron Rodgers, God almighty, yeah, it'd be great to have him in New York.
So we're talking to the great Joe Namath. This is the mystery caller. I have been between a rock and a hard place for days here because of my big mouth and my stupid.
And he told you to wear the jersey. Put on my jersey.
We heard him. Now, Joe, we're going to circle back to the jersey in a moment. I got to ask you a couple of football questions. Now, first of all, Joe. You only get to do, prom night once, if you know what I mean, and you only get to develop a quarterback once, if you know what I mean. So forget about Rodgers and Brady and Garoppolo for a moment. Have the Jets gotten to the point where no matter what they do, it's too late to maybe fix Zach Wilson? Have you given up on Zach?
You know, this pause that I just took should tell you something. I was open-minded, certainly, knowing that he was young and he could improve a lot of things. The thing is, I don't know Zach. I've never met him, and I don't know how he operates between the ears or whatever. But the guys that are closest to the situation, starting with Coach Saleh, understand. And I've got to defer to whatever they decide because I like what the team has transitioned to defensively, at least. And barring injuries, the offense would have been even better for the running back and the offensive lineman, Hall.
Yep, Breece Hall,
so
AVT.
Lady Luck plays a role.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to agree we need a change there.
We need a change. Oh, boy, I'll tell you.
That's just because he wants Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady to wear his number.
Well, he just said Rodgers. He didn't say Brady. He didn't say Brady.
That offensive line healthy.
Yeah, true. What about Brady?
Yeah.
What about Brady? Would you let Brady wear 12 or just Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, no, of course, Tom Brady. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. What I let, no, it's not what I want, but I respect that, and hell, that's his number for his life as a ball player, whatever. Sure, I wouldn't deny.
Yeah, but Joe, hold on. I don't want
Joe.
I don't want Tom Brady on our Jets, Joe. I don't. I don't. He's going to be 50 years old soon, Joe. 50.
You brought him up on the Jets. I'm telling you, it's unrealistic.
Well, Barber brought him up. You brought up Rodgers. He brought up Brady. I brought up Zach. I brought up the worst of the three. I brought up Zach Wilson. Oh, Joe. All right, now I'm going to have to.
You could bring up Lamar Jackson, too. He runs around, and he's been sensational. There's other guys out there that could upgrade the team, no doubt.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be wearing your number. Only Brady or Rodgers could wear your number. Lamar is 8.
You know what? That number only means something to the guy wearing it and how he does.
Joe, let me ask you something. So I was born a couple of years after you won, all right? So everything that I know about Joe Namath is what I've seen, what I've heard, what I've read. I have had a handful of happy moments as a Jets fan and never the ultimate happiest. But I'm also not inclined to just forever think negatively. I tend to skew positively and optimistically by nature. But I got to tell you, man, I'm at my wit's end, Joe. I mean, between the Darnold mess, between the Wilson mess, between nothing happening forever, Joe, I don't know how I can conjure up any more optimism here and have it be legitimate optimism. Can you tell me why? Because we're not getting Rodgers, dude. You know he's not coming here. Why will the Jets be good next year? Why?
Do you think you're alone in this boat, man?
No.
I mean, what do you think about Mr. Johnson? He owns the team. He's been for 20-plus years struggling to get a winner, and he's trying hard. You're not the only one in this boat. I mean, we're all looking for the Jets to get better. We all want them to get better and get in a championship. They made a little run this year and had some bad luck. Well, that's the nature of the sport, boy, in life. Bad luck can come up. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people feel bad about it. You're not the only one. The thing is, Saleh is getting them in the right direction.
Do you disagree that they fired the OC? Would you have given LaFleur another season? Because now we don't know who we're going to hire here. Would you have maybe brought it back for year 3 or no?
You know what, my daughter and I, she brought that up a little while back whenever they did let that news out.
Yeah.
And she heard me critiquing sometimes watching the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So you didn't have an issue with it, is what you're saying.
So I'm glad that there's a change. LaFleur's going to land on his feet somewhere.
He is.
He's passionate, and he's going to continue to grow.
Yeah, it sounds like he's going to get an opportunity out in Los Angeles with the Rams. You know, Joe, people talk about the success of the Jets, and it goes oftentimes back to your era of the Jets. What's transferable or translatable to now? Like, what does it take to be a winner, especially in New York? I know New York is very different than it was back when you were here in the late 60s and 70s, but what makes a winner in New York?
Desire, talent, belief, the combination, and that goes all the way through the team. You know, you've got to have it on all levels.
Joe, how about our own stadium, Joe? Could we ever get that? I mean, what do you think, Joe? Can we? Can we ever get our own stadium? Come on. I'm tired of it.
Well, what about the Jets or the Giants having a stadium in New York?
Yes, Joe. I mean, you know, Beningo's talked about this forever. I don't have an issue sharing it with the Giants. It's just too... I don't know, it's too benign. It doesn't have a ton of character. Now, again, winning brings character. Yeah. Winning brings energy. I get that. There's a correlation there. But it just seems so drab. I don't know. It's just so benign. So
well, you know what? If we were winning, we wouldn't even notice that drabness, man.
Yeah.
You play out in the backyard, out in the street, wherever. When you're winning, it's fine.
Yeah. You know, Joe, I want to get back to, like, the winning side of this. Weeb Ewbank was your head coach. What was he like?
Weeb was the only coach that ever won a championship in both leagues, right?
Yeah.
Get that straight first. Second, Weeb was also general manager. Yeah, he was also general manager, and according to Don Maynard and the other players, you see, I never had to negotiate with Weeb, but they did. And Weeb was as close as 9 is to 10. He was very tight with the guys. Weeb never said a curse word. He never berated a guy. He was a gentleman, first class, and he did win a championship in the NFL and the AFL.
Yeah.
So we all grew to love Weeb, especially after we won, man.
Yeah, you know, I think you're hitting on something there that I think is important for winning. And I don't know if Robert Saleh does this because I have no idea what his relationship is with the players. But you see this with Brian Daboll with the Giants. You know that he's close to his players. I mean, he talks about bringing them over. Daniel Jones came over and they got really tight. Bruce Arians used to always talk about this with his quarterbacks. I mean, it's important that the player really trusts and knows the head coach. Do you know if Robert Saleh does that with this Jets team?
If he does what?
He gets to know the player. You know what I mean? Like really has a personal relationship, not just a coach-player relationship. It's very different. You know what I mean?
I do, and I can't answer that question because I'm not there.
Yeah.
You see, I don't know. I can't help you out there.
Oh, well, I'm going to throw a different one at you here, Joe. It's under the great Joe Namath. So, of all, and obviously not the guys that you played with, if I said, Joe, you got to go into a 16 or now a 17-game season with 2 Jet wide receivers of the past that you never played with, who would you want to throw to? Give me 2 names.
Wait a minute. I can't even compare what I like the receivers the Jets have. I mean, they're good speed, outside, give good effort. I can't give names. The game has changed so much.
No question.
Oh, boy, it's wonderful. It's the best game. It's best it's ever been. And the guys work at it harder than they ever worked at it. You know, training year-round, most of them. And it's just, I love watching the NFL today, even the college sports, man.
Do you
These
go?
coaches have gotten so good from the coaches before. Now, you mentioned Dabo. He's with Saban.
Yep.
Saban goes all the way back with Parcells and Belichick, and Ray Perkins. That's a fraternity, man. And these guys, they're not all alike, but they do have the basic fundamentals to communicate properly with the players and win a championship.
Yeah, that's what's most important.
Let's hope that Saleh can win a championship.
Joe, do you still go to games? Do you get back at all? Do you go over to the facility? You see the play? You do that still or no?
Well, not since COVID has come up the last couple of years.
Got
My
it.
granddaughter and I went up to, I think maybe 2 years ago we did, but just haven't been doing much traveling, man.
Yeah.
Not the last couple of years.
No.
Playing some golf, Joe?
Yeah, you got to stay safe.
Playing a little golf?
Golf, I love golf, and it's a great way to spend some time, and my game is at its worst level in the history of my young life.
Gotcha. And trust me, we can all say that. And how are the knees feeling? I mean, everybody loves you. You feeling healthy? Everything good with you, Joe?
Yeah, I had both knees replaced in 1990, and they said it'd be 10 to 15 years worth of luck, and
Yeah.
I still have the same 2 replacements. I had both hips replaced, and I had my right shoulder replaced
Jeez.
recently.
Wow.
On my birthday, May 31st. So as long as it's the joints, we can fix them.
Yeah, yeah.
True.
Yeah,
The
those are
organs.
fixable.
We got to
It's-
take care of those.
It's the
organs.
other stuff that you gotta worry about. Well, I got to tell you, Joe.
Oh,
now that
man.
COVID started to calm down a little bit, I remember when Frank Gifford used to come around when I was with the Giants, and those were some of the greatest conversations, memories that I ever can remember. And it had a real impact on me because it connected me with the history of the team and the organization. So I know you haven't traveled over there for a lot because of COVID and everything else, but if you can get back over, I know those players would. I mean, you're a legend, man. You're a living legend, truly. If you can get back over to Florham Park and see those guys, I know they would appreciate it because they can glean so much from you and your experiences as a star in this city.
Well, I'd love to get there, I promise you, but I don't want to piss any of them off by saying I'm pulling for the Giants right now.
That's all good. They're not in it. They're not in it.
That's
They're
why
not in it.
you shouldn't pull for the Giants.
Yes, you
I mean,
should.
come on, Joe. What are you doing?
I'm a people guy,
I'm
man.
just kidding.
Again, I like the colors. I like the Crimson Tide colors and all, and the Beaver Falls Tigers orange and black.
I love it.
Well, listen, I tell
I do
you.
like people, and I'm pulling for the Giants, I promise you.
All right, so this just needs to be on the record before we let you go. So,
Well, you better get that jersey on.
well, all right. So, Joe, you got to promise
took
me
it
this.
out of your hands.
Look, hold on. Wait, let me handle this. This is because this is my life here. This is my future. So let me hold on, Teak. So, Joe, I need you to say that you will never hold this against me. I will be eternally forgiven because you are my get out of jail pass. If it's okay with number 12, I don't give a rat's ass what any Jets fan says. If it's okay with you, then this is something I might be able to do. Can you say that for me, Joe?
I promise you it's okay with me, man, but you're on your own when it comes to the rest of the
Oh,
Jets.
well, I mean, Joe, so what do you, come on, man.
Hedging. That's a great hedge.
That is a hedge. And here's what I'll do for you, Joe. I asked you that question before. Who would you want to throw to? I'll put a little Altoon out there. I'll put a little Corbett in the slot for you. I'll put a little Freeman, McNeil, and Curtis behind you. And we'll average 60 points and we'll win the championship with you as the quarterback, Joe. How about that?
I heard what you had to say, and if we had longer time to talk, there'd be a bunch of guys, too, that might measure up to those things.
Understood, man. Understood.
There's a bunch of guys down through the years that would qualify for you, and Tiki, I'm sure, and myself as well.
Yep, no doubt.
Joe, God bless you, man. This is such an honor. I mean, I spoke to you years ago. I don't expect you to remember. I certainly did. As a Monster Jets fan, you're the guy, even for those of us who didn't see you play. Teek's right. You are a living legend, and there's not many of them still walking around in our city with our team. So we cherish you, and I will take what you said under advisement, Joe. I truly will.
Hey, Brandon, can you promise me one thing?
I'll try.
How about sending me an autographed picture of you in that Giant jersey?
Oh boy. You know what?
That's amazing.
Okay, here's what I'll do for you, Joe. Now listen. You cut deals. I know you used to have the bar back there. I'm going to cut a deal. I'm not going to hang up. I'm going to put you on hold. I will get you that picture. And I don't know why you'd want it, but I'd get you a picture of me in the jersey signed to you as long as you send my son an autographed Joe Namath picture to my boy. Can we do that?
All I need is name and address.
Done.
You can enclose that with the picture. Now, wait a minute. Has Tiki ever worn a Jet jersey?
No, and we don't want him to. We don't want him to corrode
Joe.
it.
Don't even go here, Joe. Because Giants fans ain't going to forgive me.
Yeah, they were already mad at him for a long time. We don't need that to start bubbling back to the surface here, Joe. You're the best, man. You're the best. I'm going to put you on hold, Joe.
Thank you so much,
I'll get you the
Joe.
picture, and thank you so much. You definitely didn't have to do this, Joe. I really
Both you
appreciate
guys
it.
stay well, man.
Appreciate you.
God bless you, dude. Number 12 in the house, Joe Namath, the man. Oh, I wish I had a quarterback like that to watch. Just one of them. And how about this guy doing his best work at midnight?
Yeah.
Back in the day, there was only one Joe.